everyone, as promised, I'm going to talk through my functional planning system. So first, I'm going to let you know what I use. My functional planning system generally consists of three things. So it consists of my MakseLife companion notebook, which I'm using the Dare to Dream one for this quarter. My Trello board, which I will show you guys. Hopefully I get a little pop-up that pops up on the screen, but I usually use my Trello board either in my phone or my computer, and then my A5 wide binder that I showed in another video a little while ago as functional planning. So I'm going to talk through what I do with my Trello board and my MakseLife companion notebook and how everything ends up in the planner. So now I'm going to explain a little bit about how I set up Trello. So what I usually do is I have columns for all the things I need to do. So like emails, reading, writing and editing, and any administrative stuff. Each of these will have different tasks that go underneath all of them. So for example, under emails, there's email team, there's meeting follow-up email. You can also change the labels on these depending on how long the task is going to take. Normally these labels have 1 to 2 hours on them, but the way that the labels are usually organized is that you can basically use the green labels as a task that takes less than 1 hour. The yellow one is one that takes 1 to 2 hours, and the orange one is one that takes 2 to 3 hours. And basically you can then go through and label all of your tasks with these labels. So you click the little edit button and then you assign whatever amount of time it'll take to this card. So for example, emailing usually doesn't take me that long. I know some people like to think about what they're emailing and it takes them a long time to think about what to say. You can also change your color scheme anytime you want, but I basically just go through and label what all the tasks, how long the tasks will take me essentially. So then I end up with like a mix of times and how long a task will take me. You can also change the due date on these. So you can make them due a particular day or a particular week. And you can set it up where there'll be a reminder, then you can save it. If the date changes, you can obviously remove it. You can make it a different time. The date can be helpful to me when I am planning my weeks in my planner because I'm like, oh yeah, that's due for a particular day. But sometimes stuff like reading or emails isn't necessarily due. It's more like writing or editing is due. So I will label then all of my tasks with how long things will take. So then I have a mix of green tasks to red tasks, basically things that will take a different amount of time based on, how long I think it's going to take me. So basically what I do is use this to plan out my week such that I'm mixing up tasks that either take not very much time or a lot of time. Usually in a day, I'll aim to do at least 1 or 2 from this list and with a different time commitment. So I'll try to do 1 or 2 ones that are in the 1 to 2 hour range, maybe one that's in the 2 to 3 hour range. If there's one that takes a lot longer, I might just do that. I might slot that in for later in the week, but I basically figure out how I'm going to prioritize doing these based on the time it takes as well as the due date. Okay, so at this point, I have my weekly actions in my MakseLife, and I have my binder for work, and I'm gonna actually zoom out a little. There you go. So I have my weekly actions, and I have my binder that I use. This binder came with a few stickers. Well, the package that I got sent for this came with a few stickers. There's a couple of email and functional stickers that I had from Honeyinked that I sometimes use. I also sometimes use some of these cloth and paper sticky notes and page flags, but it really varies depending on what's going on. So I'm going to do a sample sort of functional planning session using some quote-unquote test data, since a lot of the work that I do is really confidential, so I'm not going to write down my actual meeting dates. But so what I do is I usually will plan out my entire week using my day designer inserts. And I have my weekly actions again, as I said, and then I have my Trello board also up on my computer or my phone. So I'll write down the day. So Monday, for example, is July 12th. So I'll write down Monday. Let me adjust the camera. Monday, July 12th. And these today column I use as it's pictured. I'm actually going to zoom in on this a little bit more so you all can see what I'm writing. So the today is basically the times and then the to-dos. So I fill out the to-dos and then fill out the today, basically slotting things in when the time works. Using both my calendar, because I know my work meetings, Trello board as well, and the weekly actions. So I'll look at my calendar to confirm when I have meetings and stuff, but more often than not, I'll just slot things in because I know my schedule more or less. So for example, I'll look at my Trello board and I'll pick out things that are like less than 1 hour to do in the morning. So usually things that are less than 1 hour, like email and admin stuff. So my day usually starts at probably 8 a.m., sometimes 9, but at 8 a.m. I'll do things like breakfast and just like shower and get ready. And I know a lot of people who are like, you put on real pants? Yup. I put on real pants. Sometimes I'll even take a walk around the block, just anything to kind of transition from home to work. So I'll just put that in as a placeholder, but usually my day will start sometimes at, my work day will start at 9, but my day will start at 8. So then I look at my, again, my Trello to-dos and my weekly actions, and I'll start off by listing the stuff I have to do for work and then get into the weekly action stuff. So when I look at to-dos, I'm trying to pick a mix of things that take less than 1 hour, things that take a little longer, things that take even longer than that, and really get maybe 1 or 2 from each column. So I'll usually put in my to-do like emails, and it'll be a specific emails that I need to do from my Trello board. Then I'll put schedule 1 meeting. And then I'll put like read a memo, but it'll be actually the specific memo, but you all know that I'm doing this for testing purposes. So not testing purposes, but you all know that I'm putting in kind of dummy data. So every day I do my 5-minute meditation and my daily journal. So I write those in as well to schedule. And then the next thing I do is my exercise for that day. I'll make sure that I have one on my schedule. So my Mondays are actually, when I think about it, my Mondays are a rest day. But I will take something from my health and wellness column in my MakseLife, and we'll put log my fitness pal. But if I was doing this for Tuesday, for example, then I would probably put like Peloton power zones, because that's what I do on Tuesday, and then I lift on Wednesday, etc., etc. So once I've got that stuff done, I'm looking now at my fun and physical environments columns. So tomorrow I will probably work on, out of my fun column, maybe work on, hard to tell. I think tomorrow tomorrow I might do my polish change. So that's gonna be my fun thing. And by polish change, I mean nail polish. And from my physical environment, I'll definitely need to do meal planning tomorrow. So let me put that down as well. Okay, so I have my to-dos now, and I'm going to look at my to-dos and figure out what are my top 3 things so I can put them in this top 3 section over here. So looking at these, obviously it's hard because the work stuff feels like the most important, but I want to make sure again that I'm getting one of each of the things that I want to do. So I want to do at least one health and wellness thing, make sure that I'm doing one fun thing, and pick what's the most important thing for me to get done at work. Yeah, that'll be my top 3. So the most important thing probably at work for me to do is emails. So I'll put emails in my top 3 for Monday. In terms of the most important thing for fun, well, I guess I only put one thing down for fun. So I'll put polish change as really important. And then for health stuff, I think actually, now that I'm looking at this list, and of course, here's what I'm going to say is things sometimes change depending on what's happening, depending on what I think is most important. So like, for example, I think meal planning is going to have to be my top 3 because without meal planning, we're not going to know what we're eating for this week. So I'm going to put meal planning as one of my top 3. And then I'm going to star these in the list so that I know that it's like super important that I get them done and make sure that they get into the schedule. So now we're ready to move into the actual scheduling of things. So at this point, again, I usually pull out my calendar for work so I know when my meetings are. So for example, I might say, okay, I have a meeting from 9 to 10, and I would just put meeting and then down, an arrow downward to indicate that. Then at 11, if I have a meeting, then emails go in. 12 o'clock is lunch, as always. And then, so 1 o'clock, I would probably work on the other work stuff from maybe 1 to 3. I think I have a break, so I'll put schedule meetings and read the memo in this time slot. And sometimes, I'm sure this happens to you where you schedule some time for something and you have either too much time left over at the end or not enough time. So I imagine that this won't take me 2 hours. So I'm going to put a little tilde here and say work on other Trello tasks in case this doesn't take me the whole time, which again, it might not. But I've gotten my work stuff out of the way, and then I know that I have a meeting at 4 o'clock. And then that will go down to 5. So we usually eat dinner, I think maybe between 7 and 8 most days. So I'm just gonna put dinner at 7 o'clock to block that off. So if my meeting's from 4 to 5, I technically have 5 to 6 free. What I will do then is I will do my polish change before dinner. That usually takes me an hour or less. I've been using this peely base on my nails from this company called Hollow Taco, and it lets you just peel your manicure off, so that makes it really fast. I usually just take a little, I think they call them an orange stick, and just peel off the nail polish and then put another peely base coat on, put another coat on, and between dry times and stuff, I'd say it probably maybe takes 30 to 45 minutes depending on the nail polish and the opacity, but I could get that done in an hour. So we'll have dinner at 7. Dinner may go from 7 to 8:30. I don't know. Sometimes with my boyfriend, we end up talking after dinner, and then we look up and we're like, oh my gosh, it's super late. We need to start thinking about bed. But I usually go to bed, I think maybe between 10 to 11. I mean, sometimes it's later than that. But at 9, I will definitely start with the things that I need to do to wind down. So at 9 o'clock, I will do my 5-minute meditation plus the journal. I like to couple these because I feel like the meditation helps me kind of clear my mind, which then the journaling is like, okay, it's coming through what's really present for me in that moment, versus like when I'm just coming off work, for example, I might just journal and sit and write down like, here's everything that happened at work today, and not the things that are really like, important to me. So I've put that down. And the only thing that I'm missing now is the logging into logging food in my Fitness Pal. So let's say that I'll do that around 8. I'll put a tilde. I think, again, that's important to do, but, it's okay if it slips. So yeah. So with this now, all of the tasks that I have on the to-do list have been scheduled. And I have like a schedule for my day. On Monday, tomorrow, I'll look at this and I'll be like, okay, what time is it? Here's what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's very, very functional. And so I basically go through and plan each day in this planner using these day designer inserts like this. Again, I have my MakseLife to refer to. So I'll look through and make sure that if this is daily stuff, it ends up every day. I'm checking, I will check this list to make sure that I get something from this list to do every single weekday. The work stuff is mostly labeled with Trello. I have to mail in some stuff, so I need to schedule that. But everything that's on my Trello will end up in this because I have the Trello in front of me. And the health and wellness and like laundry, that stuff will get incorporated. But I kind of have to have everything in front of me when I'm physically planning. So I don't tend to use a lot of stickers in my functional planning, but since I have them, I might now, since I have that emails thing, I could just put an email sticker. There you go. There you go. And if I need to schedule or read a memo at work, could probably put this little clippy. This is me completely not having my tweezers because, again, I don't really use stickers. But yeah. So the way I would use a sticker is if I'm like working, throughout the day and something comes up and I need to write it down. I might use, for example, like a sticky note and say something like, remember to do this, and stick it on that. Sometimes I also stick it, if I have any reminders or anything, on my dashboard. This is a cloth and paper dashboard from, a dashboard from Cloth and Paper. And so I would stick that on there, so when I open up my planner, it's the first thing that I see. But yeah, so that is how I do my functional planning. Hope you all enjoy this. It's a little bit of a different video. I did order some minimalist kits for some functional planning. So I might show another video using those as I learn to incorporate those and kind of get in my groove there. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're new here, feel free to click like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.